Hi, it's Fanny of Living Richly on a Budget, and I want to share with you my tips on how to eat gluten-free on a budget. I've been gluten-free for 2 years due to a wheat allergy that I developed overnight and suddenly. And all of a sudden I had to figure out what I could eat and how to avoid wheat, and that was really overwhelming at first. And so I wanted to share with you tips on how to save money doing that. First tip is to focus on eating more naturally gluten-free foods. Of course, that's really obvious, but focus on eating more meats, more vegetables, fruits, nuts, rice. There's also polenta and things like you could use rice paper wrappers, like you can find at the Chinese grocery store. I mean, there's different things, and corn tortillas. So there's a lot of things you can eat that's naturally gluten-free, and when you buy things that are naturally gluten-free, they're gonna be cheaper because gluten-free products are just they just cost a lot more. Second tip is to check out a Chinese grocery store or Asian grocery store. If you're not familiar with them, there's a lot of different things you can get. Like if you want to start baking, you need like things like rice flour and tapioca flour. Like they have this in a 16-ounce bag, 16-ounce 1-pound bag for like $1. It's really affordable, and it's a great way to like start when you're starting to bake gluten-free and you need like small quantities. You can check out a Chinese grocery store and pick up those flours. They also have potato flour there. Also, they have different kinds of noodles, like they're just made with rice and water. Like for instance, there's pho noodles. If you're familiar with Vietnamese foods, this is the noodles that they have in their noodle soup. But you can also use these noodles to make chicken noodle soup. Instead of gluten-free pasta, use this because it's so much more affordable. This is about on sale. You can get it for like $1.09 or under $1.50 for like 14 ounces. So I mean, this is a lot more affordable than gluten-free pasta, which comes at like $3.99 or more for just like 8 ounces. So look for different alternatives, using naturally gluten-free foods, or checking out the Chinese grocery store. In my book, Eating Gluten-Free on a Budget, I walk you through the Asian grocery store and what you can find, and what deals you can find, and where to look. My third tip is to start cook from scratch, obviously, to avoid gluten, but at the same time bake from scratch. And that may be hard in the beginning, so I mean I go through tips on how to start baking from scratch because it's overwhelming at first, and really the tip is to start with gluten-free baking products. And it may sound like maybe it's not that it's expensive in the beginning. It's not that expensive. It's just like maybe $4 a box or $5 a box when you find it on sale. But it will help you get used to baking gluten-free, because when you bake doing gluten-free, you have to use like 3 different flours, and it's a lot to take in at once, especially when you're just learning how to eat gluten-free. So to keep things simple, start with a mix, and really bake your own products, because it's going to be a lot cheaper to have your own like muffins and pancakes and pizza even, like versus like buying it at a gluten-free bakery if you even live near one. So that's going to save you so much more, and also get you back to feeling normal again. Fourth tip is to check out gluten-free products online. There's a lot of things you could find online that's going to be cheaper than at Whole Foods or your natural food store. But also, like, just do a price comparison. If you're buying things from Amazon, you're going to have to always buy in bulk. So if you're going to try out things, then check out like Whole Foods or your natural food store. My fifth tip is to check out the bulk bins at your Whole Foods or your natural food store, and you're gonna find a lot of deals there. Like if you're gonna buy like beans or whatever, and get it from the bulk food section because you don't have to pay for packaging, and you can get just as much. You can get the exact amount that you need, so you don't have to waste food. So when you're trying things out, that's a great place to check out. But also at the same time, if you're super sensitive to gluten and other things, then you're going to want to make sure that they don't cross-contaminate, and the only way you're going to know is talking to the manager, or really going to a place where they separate the gluten-free flours from the regular wheat flours, because I've been to places where they put the wheat flour right next to the gluten-free flour, and that doesn't make any sense because anything can always, the wheat can always get into the other bin. So certain places will separate it and have a dedicated section just for gluten-free flours and ingredients. So those are my 5 tips, and if you want more tips, please check out my book, Eating Gluten-Free on a Budget. It's on Amazon right now. And thanks for watching. Bye.